What's up everyone, and welcome to another video, or welcome to a brand new video if you guys are new to the channel. Also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe if this video is useful and information is useful to you guys. So, I wanted to make this video yesterday when I was streaming. I was thinking to myself, I was like, there's no valid, no full-on solid information about how to get these pink slip cars. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make my own video on it and see if I can, you know, maybe somehow help people out, because I was trying it in yesterday's stream when I was live, and honestly it was just a mess to try and find out what the cars are to actually get in the pink slips, and also how to get them, how to reset them, and all, pretty much everything, right? There's not a lot of information. This update came out like maybe a couple of weeks ago, so there's not really a lot of information out there. I think I've gotten every single one of these pink slip cars. I've triple checked, I've quadruple checked on if I've gotten every single one of these cars, and I can't get any other new cars to spawn in. So I have constantly been seeing the exact same cars over and over again. I've even checked if somehow, some way they've changed their mind and I can re-challenge them and win their car. You can't do it. I think I've gotten all of them. So if I show you guys right now, if I got to the details here, cars won in PvE duels at the bottom left, 21. There are 21 cars that you can win in the pink slips. That's why the thumbnail of this video shows every single one of them. I'll actually show you guys the image of them right here up on the screen so you guys can use them like this. So, how do you get these cars? Well, if you drive around on the map, you'll be able to see these little red arrows. The way to turn these red arrows on, these drivers that you get to challenge, see these guys are driving around right now. The only way to get these guys to pop up is if you turn on your traffic. I've seen people ask me or saying to me, is like they don't have theirs popping up. How do you get them to pop up? You just turn on traffic. That's it. And this is what happens when you go behind one of them, right? Here, head-to-head race. You scroll across, you can see what the actual bets are. So let's say if I decide to race this guy for 50 gold, how this is going to work is you put in your 50 gold, he puts in his 50 gold. If you win, you win 100. If you lose 50. Right? Pretty self-explanatory. Some of the cars in this game, 21 to be more precise, cars in this game are pink slips. So as you're driving around and you're challenging one of these guys, it's giving you the option to actually bet your car for their car. That's pretty much how it works. If you lose your car. If you win their car. And some of the cars in this game are actually kind of like fun to try and get. They have some sort of, they don't really have like any crazy like, you know, mods or anything done to them. You can pretty much rebuild all of these cars yourself if you really wanted to. I think the only cool thing is that they are collectible. You know, it's something that you can get just from doing these races. You can't actually get them in any other way. And the liveries are kind of special on a lot of them. They all have like really cool liveries on them, so that's kind of cool to get. So, let me show you guys all of the cars. Also, actually, really quick before I do that, if, let's say you have seen all these cars, like I said, there's only 5 cars that are driving around at the same time. If, let's say you checked out all these 5 cars, like you've driven behind every single one of them, as you can see, I've so far seen pretty much all of them, right? Am I missing? I think I'm missing one of them. I think I'm missing this guy down here. So I've now seen all 5 of these guys, boom, driving around, right? So I know every single one of these 5 cars that is driving around here, and let's say not a single one is actually giving me the option to do pink slips. If I fast travel to a different point on the map, it's not going to change anything. The way to refresh these cars, because there's more cars in the same class, oh yeah, this is one thing that I didn't say. Depending on what type of car that you're driving, so to see at the top right, this car says it's in CS, it'll only show CS cars. Except for a few exceptions, which I'll talk to you guys in a second about. So apart from a few exceptions, it'll most likely show you pretty much every single time the cars in the same class that you're driving. So how do I refresh these guys? Well, pretty simple. Go and you change car that's in a different class. So if I go and I change it over to this, I go scroll back down again, you can see all the little red arrows have vanished. They've all disappeared because you are now in a different class to what they were in. If I decide to go back into the same class that I was before, CS, I can go back to the same Skyline, but I'm just going to change to this guy because it's closer. And I back out. If I now just wait a few seconds for the cars to respawn again. Just give it a few seconds. If I even press on the map, you'll be able to see them. And boom, just like that. The cars have refreshed. There should be some new cars that have spawned on the map. Sometimes you get unlucky and you get the exact same cars that you've just seen, like respawn back up. Sometimes you don't, and you get different cars, which is obviously what you're looking for. You're trying to find more and more cars to try and win The pink slips. Viper we've already seen. This RX-7 we've already seen. I think I just got lucky now and I got the same cars to spawn back up again. And it's the Subaru. Yeah. So, again, I just got lucky. If you have that happen, just do it again, pretty much. But make sure you check all of the cars, because if you don't have the pink slips for all of the cars, then you won't get... like it doesn't matter. You'll have the same... You could have the exact same cars, except for one car that's different. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Now, let's start off with me showing you guys all of the cars that you can get. This is one of them right here that I'm driving right now, this E92 M3. This is actually the final car that I ended up getting in CS Plus. I was checking a lot just to try and see if I can find all of these. So this one is one of them. It's in CS Plus, as you can see at the top of the screen. And usually you just get it to drive around. And you just challenge it and you beat it and you win it. That's pretty much how it works. But this is one of the cars. Another car in CS Plus, which I think you guys should have seen in yesterday's stream and in a video that I uploaded a couple of days ago that I ended up getting, is this Audi R8. Now this one is a car that kind of resembles Darius's Need for Speed Carbon Audi Le Mans, if you guys remember that car. So that's what I'm saying, like all the cars in this game have like very special liveries where kind of they mimic some of the cars in real life, or I guess in other video games, and yeah, they're kind of cool. But this is also another car that you can win. Now, another car that you can win is also this Mercedes AMG GT. This also has the Edition 1 livery on it, which looks kind of cool. But yeah, this is also, again, in CS Plus. I haven't gotten past the CS Plus car, so this is also in CS Plus if you want to try and win it. And this one is the final car in CS Plus that you can win. This Mustang, which again resembles a car from Need for Speed Most Wanted. It's Razor's Mustang. It looks like Razor's Mustang. Of course, it's not the exact same because it's not the same model of Mustang, but that's what the livery is trying to replicate, which is kind of cool. But yeah, this is the final CS Plus car. So there's 4 cars in CS Plus that you can win as pink slip cars. Now we move over into CS, and this is one of the cars that you can win there. This BMW M2, which is all kitted out. It's got like carbon fiber and stuff all over it. Pretty sick. But yeah, this was now our first car in CS that you need to basically try and get for yourselves. Pretty sick car. Alright, next CS car is this Mazda RX-7. This is pretty much what this thing looks like. As you can see here. It's also got a K20 swap. That's why it sounds like a 4-cylinder. But yeah, this is another car in CS that you can win. Now, going from one JDM car to another, this is also another CS car that you can win, this Toyota Supra, which I'm pretty sure this also is a design, or a similar design to a car from Need for Speed Most Wanted, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's a Supra in that game that looks similar to this, with its paint. But yeah, this is also another CS car that you get to challenge and try to win. Okay. This is a special car. You know why it's a special car? Because a lot of people are struggling to try and get this very specific car. I'll tell you why. This Skyline, this R34 here, is also in CS, right? This is also, as you can see at the top of the screen, in CS. But it's at 508, so it's barely past the mark of it being in CS. So it's very, very high. Like, it's almost in C6, right? Or like, whatever. Like, it's almost in the lower class, pretty much. The only way that you can get this very specific car to spawn in, if you drive around in CS cars, you won't get this car to spawn in. You have to drive in C6 to get this CS car to spawn in, right? Hopefully that makes sense, because I have seen people online struggling to find this very specific Skyline, and there's also another car that does the same thing. But if you're having issues finding it, go down a class with your cars and it'll spawn up for you. That's pretty much how it works. I've done it yesterday in the stream, and I was like a bit annoyed that I couldn't figure it out. I honestly was looking for the Skyline for so long and I couldn't find it. And then I ended up dropping a class to look for other cars. I kind of left it and I was like, you know, I'll get it back at some other time. And this popped up when I was driving around a C6. So because it's so low in the class, you have to drive in the class lower from this car to get it. I don't know why, it's just the way it is. So if you want to get the Skyline, make sure you're in the C6 driving around and it'll spawn up, even though it's a CS car. Right, now we've moved over into C6. This is one of the cars in C6, this BMW M4, if you want to try and get it for yourselves. Another C6 car, as you can see, is this Mitsubishi Evo 10. This is also another C6 car, which looks pretty sick, actually, like this. Is there a livery like this in like Need for Speed or something? I'm trying to pay attention to it. I'm trying to, like, see if I can remember it, but I don't genuinely remember if this paint is from anything. Maybe it is. I just don't remember. Pretty sure a lot of these are very similar to like real life paints or paints from video games or films. So that's what I'm asking. It's like, this has to be a reference to something. If it isn't, still looks pretty sick. But yeah, anyway. Next car. And it's a Golf this time around. It is, I'm pretty sure, an all-wheel drive Golf. And it looks like this. You got some fat decal on the rear window, which actually looks very, very sick because it's got like a weird like holographic design to it, which is really, really cool. But oh yeah, same with the front end. But yeah, this is another C6 car that you could try and get. Now we move down into C5. There's only 3 cars that were in C6 there, as you can see. But now we move on into C5, and we have this. We have this NSX. This is one of the cars that you can win in C5, as you can see. Next car in C5 is this Nissan 350Z or 350Z. It looks very, very sick with the decals on the side of it. It looks really, really good. I don't think I've ever owned a 350 in this game, so I'm probably going to do some bits to this car. Because I really, really like it. It looks very sick. Also, our next car that's in C5 is actually down here. And it's this. This is our next car in C5 that I wanted to show off. Can you tell what this car is supposed to be? Can you tell what the decals on this car are supposed to be? What the paint job is? Yeah, this is another C5 car. Mitsubishi Evo. Very, very cool. And finally, in C5, it's this R34 Skyline. Also, very, very sick. So this is our second R34 in this list, which is kind of weird for them to add 2 of them in the same list. But it looks really, really good. This is probably one of my favorite ones in terms of paints. I think it looks really, really sick. I think the red really suits this thing. It reminds me a lot of the proper race cars that we had back in the day, like the GT500 cars. They were very, very sick. And I'm also pretty sure that this is the second car, because this is also really, really low in the class as well. So this one is a C5 305. I'm pretty sure it's just on the limit as well of being C5. So if I go into C4 and pick a C4 car, I think I can probably get the Skyline. I don't know why they've done it with the Skylines. I think both Skylines are the same. But I think this is also the other car that you actually need to be in a lower class for it to be able to spawn up for you to get it. So I think you have to be driving around C4 against this car to try and win it. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Next up we have another E92 M3 here, as you can see. I mean, we've had the one at the top of the actual class. It's pretty much the fastest one, or the highest build one, which I showed at the very beginning. But this is another one. This one actually isn't an swap, so for whatever reason in this game, this car has a 6-cylinder. But the one that's at the top in CS Plus is a V8. Anyway, regardless, this is a C4 car. Okay, the next C4 car is this S13, this 180SX, 200SX, whatever you want to call this thing. This S13 is the next car that you can win. And here is the other C4 car that you can win. This R33 Skyline with a pretty sick little livery on the side of it. I like it. Looks clean, looks clean. And now we're in C3 with the final few cars. This is one of them. This G, this Infinity, or whatever this is called, the Infinity Q, whatever. This is pretty much a C3 car. It's got clear taillights, which is kind of weird to actually see in this game. But yeah, this is our first C3 car that you can win. This is another C3 car that you can win, which is this Corvette, which looks very, very sick, in my opinion. It even has, as you can see by the front, the zip ties stitched. It looks very, very cool. But yeah, livery is kind of sick on this one. It looks a bit battered and a little bit like scratched and destroyed, as you can see. But that's all part of the way the livery is on this car. Clean. I like it. And then there was the final car that you can win, and it's this Civic. This is the C3 Civic that you can win in, well, in C3. This is pretty much what it looks like. And that's it. I have checked the lower classes. I've checked C1, I've checked C2, and there hasn't been any cars that spawn in with the pink slips. You can still challenge drivers, you can still challenge other cars, but I've checked pretty much every single one of them multiple times just to see if I can get them to spawn in, and there's no cars that spawn in C2 or C1 with pink slips. Now, I may have missed out on a couple of cars in this video. I really hope I didn't, because I am going to name this video all of the cars, because I've checked multiple times and I could not find any other cars that you can get from pink slips from like head-to-head races. These are all of the cars that you can get from head-to-head races that I have found. If, like I said, I have missed out on one or two of these, definitely let the people know down in the comments below if I've missed out on them. Maybe it's different on console, maybe it's different on mobile. I don't know what you guys have up for updates, but this is on the PC. And I'm pretty sure the PlayStation and the PC share the same updates, but I'm not 100% sure. But again, like I said, if I missed out on anything, definitely let me and the people know down in the comments below. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully this was helpful, and see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone. Have a good day.